Fitness is you versus you. Never be satisfied. No pain, no gain. Change lies outside of your comfort zone. Don't care what others think. These are all statements that are accepted by most without a second thought. But that is the issue. Too many of us are mindlessly working, struggling, and stressing without giving it a second thought, let alone meditating on it in prayer and giving it to God. We are so fast to take the new drug or supplement, to follow the new trend, the new diet, and the trainer that says their way is the best. But we are struggling more, fatter, with more health problems, more stressed, and even if we reach our goals, we are unfulfilled. We make excuses, place blame, and beat ourselves up, but keep doing the same things over and over again. First Chronicles states that God chose the things the world considers foolish in order to shame those who think they are wise, powerless to shame those who are powerful, things despised, counting as nothing at all, and use them to bring to nothing what the world considers important. So why do we keep choosing the ways of the world that the Bible states they won't work? Because most don't even know of any other way and leave God out of the process. But what if there was another way to bring God into your health and fitness? To stop stressing and find freedom and purpose through your goals? To go from struggling with health and fitness to worshiping through health and fitness? This is Why to Fitness. Welcome. We are now on Luke 6. Luke 6 starts off with a discussion about the Sabbath. And basically, people will ask you why you do things that they've interpreted to be counterproductive. But first off, the Sabbath was created for us. The Sabbath was created for us because God knew that we needed rest. We needed rest. It's not something that we do it to because God demands it. No, He did it for us. You see, people always will be asking you why you do things that they interpret counterproductive. There may be some truth in what they're saying, but God is a God of relationships, not laws. There is a time and place for everything, and everyone has different needs. You see, same with diet and health programs. They were created for us to prosper, not for us to beat ourselves up, not to feel bad when we have been not following it, when something more of a purpose that has a greater why demands our attention. We must be able to discern when to follow our diets, when to be able to get off them. The last thing we want to do is cause something or someone to stumble because we're busy trying to honor the Sabbath. No, I can't go out to you to that lunch because I don't eat that type of food. I. We continue to verse 8. You see, Jesus was so aware of the thoughts and would even address people beforehand. How many times have you known things are just not quite right, but not did anything for it? You say, you know what, I got this. Did you actually take the time to address what you didn't think was right? Why you weren't getting the results? Something just is off here. Why is he not caring like he used to? Why is he not doing things? Personal trainers not doing what they used to. Has he gotten complacent? You should be able to know the thoughts beforehand, and God will be the one that shows you that. We then go on to when Jesus chose the 12 apostles, because he had many followers. 70, 72, I've heard, maybe. It's one or the other. But you got to see that he prayed to God all night before he chose these disciples. He had so many followers, he could have chose anyone, but he spent all night praying to figure this out. How often do we put that much effort into making decisions? Or better yet, how often do we bring our circumstances to God with this much effort and time? You see, you can't make perfect decisions. Too many people might get paralyzed to try to be perfect, to find the perfect timing. But you got to understand, God, or should I say, Jesus chose the 12 disciples, even knowing that one was going to betray him. But you see, when you do it with God, when you pray beforehand, God will make all things turn out for his own good. Judas needed to turn in Jesus, or else would he have really gone to the cross at the time that he needed to go? God uses people and events you could never foresee. So why do we make any decisions without him? It's pointless. It is pointless. You see, because we already know crowds were following Jesus. People came to him. They journeyed days. This wasn't just some short little journey. No, they would journey through the worst weather. It was a tough journey. Are you searching for the quick and easy thing to keep living your life? Or are you actually going through the struggle? What if these people, these followers, chose the quick and easy way? Would they have even made the trip to go see Jesus, to go get healed? To go get the demons and those troubled by evil spirits casted out? How much effort are you really willing to put in? Maybe you are putting in a bunch of effort, but you're just struggling, not seeing the result. That means you need to go and just do like Jesus did when he picked out the 12 disciples and pray and figure out what you're really dealing with and listen to God. We then start getting into the Beatitudes. You see, it says, blessed are the poor, and blessed are you are hungry now, and you'll be satisfied. How does your attitude of working out match with this? Are you feeling like you're blessed when you're going through struggles? Those that weep now, in due time you will laugh. We go into 22. People are going to hate you and exclude you. People are going to mock you for doing things different. They're going to mock you for being morally courageous and almost spiritually alive with joy when there's just no reason. But you should take heart in these things. We need to be happy when people make fun of us. Prophets were treated the same way. Look at Noah. But this happiness can only come if you are in alignment and know what you must do, but also what God has sent you to do. You see, too many people are doing things because they're mocked. They're trying to make goals to not be a certain way, to not experience a certain thing. Well, then that thing has to always be around because that is your focus. No, we need to turn our focus on God. We see in verse 24, sorrow's foretold. You see, if you place your comfort in possessions or obtaining a certain look, that's all the comfort you're going to receive. You're going to be, if you're spiritually impoverished, if you are leaving God out of it, that is all you're going to receive. And that's not enough. Verse 25, what sorrow awaits for the who are fat and prosperous now, for a time of hunger awaits. Are you living a life of self-indulgence? Then you'll mourn and weep. Is your health and program all about self-indulgence? Or is it for worshiping God? You see, even those in verse 26, woe to you that are praised by the crowds, for their ancestors are also praised false prophets. Are you working out or dieting just to receive more praise, love, acceptance from others? This is what the false prophets desired. This is what the false children of God desire. No, we need to unselfishly seek the best and the higher good for our enemies. Just like in verse in 27, not just for ourselves, but for our enemies. We need to love our enemies because it's easy to love people that love us. Verse 29, if someone slaps you on the cheek, offer the other cheek. Ignore those insignificant insults and losses and don't bother to retaliate. Maintain your dignity. How many of us are working out to shove it in someone else's face? To show them what they lost. Show somebody that to prove to themselves that they're worth it. No, we need to ignore those things. We must unselfishly love. We also know in verse 7, don't to judge others. Many people do this just to feel better about themselves. They condemn others because it's easier to break down others than to build yourself up. You can then become the highest building if you knock everyone else down, and that's what people are doing. They're surrounding themselves around people of less just so they can feel more. But no, we need to follow those that walk in the footsteps of God, those that actually care. True friends call you out and make you better. True love is those that are actually going to say what is needed, not just what you want to hear. You see, so many people, you can see in 39 it says, can one blind person lead another? No, they'll both fall into a ditch. So many people want their results their way and are unwilling to listen to the teacher. Everyone claims they want to eat and all that they want and barely work out. But when they run into the person at keto and trains like a freak, they follow them because they have this body that they're desiring. And that just causes more damage. If you truly want to eat what you want to eat, and only work out the way you want to work out, you better find somebody willing to tell you how to make that happen. That's what the Y Way does. That's what Y2 Fitness does. We go off what you truly want, what you truly desire. And then most often, you don't even want that. What you think you want isn't what you want. It's just an opposite of what you don't want. But we know, being followers of Christ, that we need to just be like him. And it even says, hey, don't judge when you have this big log in your eye. First, get rid of your log eye, then you'll be able to see well enough to get the speck out of your friend's eye. You can judge your friends as long as you know that they have the same values. That they are what you know, that they have the same values, following and chasing after God's heart. Because then when you can go in front of them, you're not just judging to make yourself feel better. No, you actually can point them to the Bible. You can point it out to the truths. That's what I do in the Y Way. When I call somebody out, I point them to the truths. I have already done the research, not only in the Bible when I point them to the truths, but I'll show them and demonstrate them that what they are doing is wrong and why it is wrong and how it affects their lives. Not just the generic information, but how it infects their life. Verse 43, the tree and its fruit. A tree is identified by its fruit. If you're always struggling and you never change, your method is not good. It's not good. Because if you're struggling, you're not attached to something that is good. You're attaching to something that is producing struggle. You see, what you say flows from what's in your heart, verse 45. If you're constantly saying, oh, poor me, oh, this stinks, oh, I hate doing this, oh, this sucks, all these things. Well, that's flowing from your heart. That's God's way of saying, don't do this. There's a better way. And at the end, we know we need to build on a solid foundation. So why do you keep calling me Lord, Lord, when you don't do what I say? I will show you what it's like when someone comes to me, listens to my teachings, and then follows it. It's like a person building a house who digs it deep and lays the foundation on solid rock. But anyone who hears and doesn't obey is like a person who builds a house right on the ground without a foundation. Solid rock versus the sand. When the flood sweeps down against that house, it will collapse into a heap of ruins. That right there, folks. Are you building your trust on something that is a struggle with a foundation that's not rooted in God? Is your workout program, is your diet rooted in what God is leading you to do? Or are you just constantly struggling? Are you constantly beating yourself up, feeling like you're not enough? That's you building a house on sand. When the trouble comes, it knocks you out. So then you go right back to square one, probably a lot worse, with a lot more pains and disease and struggle. No, that you can't. That is worthless. That is the worst failure. To be working for something, to have it just be taken away, not be fulfilled by it. No, you need to start it off with the rock. You need to start it off with Jesus. You need to start it off with the ultimate why, and also know why you're doing everything. You need to base it on the foundation, everything that you're building, everything that you're working. That is the only way to, when troubles and battles come your way, that you'll actually succeed. That you'll actually get to where you want to be. Have that joy, peace, comfort. We need to build on a solid foundation. And that is Jesus Christ. And that is what the Y Way does. I am a Y Way warrior, and this is the Y Way. Love you all.